Welcome to the Value Meta. We are finishing our run of Devotion with the final color, Mono Blue Devotion. Disclaimer, this is not an optimal deck. I would not recommend bluing this one. This is a deck that crashes Arena. So let's talk about it. I'll talk about the initial change you should make. So looking at our usual, this is a 2 Mythic 12 rare deck that needs a small adjustment if you're going to actually play it. Now if you want to play this seriously, there are some adjustments made. But I built this deck with the core intention of doing one thing, using Mystic Reflection on Master of Waves. So for those you aren't aware, Mystic Reflection is a 2 mana instant that we can foretell for 2 and then play it later for 1 mana. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers would enter the battlefield, they enter as a copy of the chosen creature. So we play this with the Master of Waves, because Master of Waves is one of our devotion payoffs. It is a 3 and a blue for a 2/1 Merfolk Wizard with protection from red. Elemental creatures we control get +1/+1, and whenever this creature enters, we create a number of 1/0 blue elemental creature tokens, equal to our devotion to blue. So you can see how this works. We cast the Master of Waves. With its trigger on the stack, we cast Mystic Reflection. The first Master of Waves will make X copies of Master of Waves, which will then make X times X, whatever, Master of Waves, which will crash Arena and hit the token limit. If you don't think I'm joking, just watch the gameplay that we're going to do. So, working through the rest of the deck, it's our standard mana base for a devotion list, 19 basics and 4 copies of Shrine to Nyx, looking to ramp by abusing blue devotion pips on the battlefield. The rest of the deck is a combination of everything. So we have Overwhelmed Apprentice as a 1-drop that enters, giving us a scry and mills the opponents, but it's there for devotion. Same with Merfolk Trickster, a 2 mana flash creature which can tap a creature an opponent controls. Just a little combat trick, but a nice way to add 2 more devotion. We have Brazen Borrower functioning as both a bounce spell and a fairy rogue if we need it for devotion. Our protective spell is Aetherize, which we use to bounce all the attacking creatures if we get overwhelmed, or we need to buy an extra turn or 2. And then we have Gadrick the Risen. Yeah. He is 3 blue and X. When he enters, you draw X cards. And whenever you cast a blue spell, you tap a permanent. So we want to use him as our dig spell. So we will literally make a ton of devotion, ton of mana, cast a big Gadrick and draw a ton of cards. How else are we adding to our devotion? Well, we have a final little package here of the Witching Well, another permanent that enters and gives us a scry, Omen of the Sea, another way to scry draw a card, and the Cryogen Relic. Basically, these are functioning as cantrips that we can burn through and use them to just churn out more card advantage, dig through our decks looking for our combo finish. And that is our deck. So I will disclose now, if you wish to play this deck, do not go for the Master of Waves Mystic Reflection deck unless you want to crash Arena. If you are tight on wildcards, go for a complete playset of Master of Waves and play that version. You'll get a smaller pop-off and you won't get the big stupid moment, but you'll probably get a more consistent deck. Anywho, let's move to gameplay. Starting off with Value Meta Blue Devotion. This hand looks controversial, but we have a ton of ways to get stuff in. So, we play the Witching Well to scry 2. We need to make sure that we hit our land drops, because we need to get up to this Master of Waves pretty quickly. Right, this is a green-white counters deck. So, pass back here, we can either flash in Omer of the Seas or Merfolk Trickster if something goes crazy. There's a Thornberry Wag, so I'm going to tap down the creature here. We need to build towards a big board presence, so we just need to save time. Buy time, sorry. So, Rolling Dragonstorm will draw us 2 cards, make us discard a card. Right, I'm going to discard the Brazen Borrower here. This is an aggro deck, so they're going to swing full out at us, so using Aetherize to buy more time. Ooh, Siege Veteran's going to add more counters to their creatures. They saddle the creature to double the number of counters on creatures. Drawing a card for the Dust Legion Zealot. We're down to 12. We may have to literally just hold up for an Aetherize here. Alright, I'm going to hold up full mana here, because if we could have played the Witching Well, but if they kill our creature here, we could just be in trouble. And, right, like, good to our... Right, full swing out to kill us, Etherize, bounce all the creatures. Okay, we may have a turn or two now, because they have to replay their creatures and start pumping them up. Alright, so, let's go with the Witching Well. Scry 2. 2 lands to the bottom, we don't need any more lands. Let's make 5 mana from the Nykthos. Play the Overwhelmed Apprentice to keep looking. Nothing. We're just going to dig for the Mystic Reflection here. If we can hit it, we could do a really crazy turn. Oh, alright. Nope, we can't keep the Etherize. We're just going to keep going. Last Omen of the Sea here. We could... Alright, it's more responsible to keep an Etherize. The fact that the game shoved 3 at us means it probably wants us to use them. Smile at Death. Oh, that's pretty funny considering we just randomly milled them a couple of cards. Yeah, I think we just got to take the damage here. Keep our devotion. Alright, let's... Black. Let's draw with Gadrick. See what we can find. Wow, we found nothing there. Okay, nothing here has flash, so we can't even tap down the board at instant speed. So let's just tap the Dust Legion Zealot, keep looking. There's another Shrine to Nykthos, but we don't need to do a mega ramp. Alright, at the beginning of the upkeep, they're returning 2 creatures with counters on them. A Trampler is a very scary thing to see here. Enduring Innocence is an interesting inclusion, but I suppose a lot of their creatures just start as 2/2s. Alright. Saddle. Put a counter on another creature. More counters on their creatures. Drawing cards. Swings in. I think we're going to have to sacrifice... Oh, they did not double the counters on here, so we just have to block and block to stay alive. Actually, save as much devotion as possible here. If we don't draw what we need here, we could just be in trouble. There's another Gadrick, so let's play this land. Make 11 mana. Let's do a second Gadrick here and save enough mana for the Master of Waves. So, using that, I reckon we can do 4 realistically. Tap one of their creatures down. Keep the Gadrick that can attack. Draw 4. There's the Mystic Reflection. Alright, so full control here. Disclaimer, you have to full control this. So, cast a Master of Waves. Paying for the mana. Tap down their creature. Master of Waves will enter. Now with that trigger on the stack, cast Mystic Reflection targeting Master of Waves. So now we will create 12 Master of Waves, doubling our devotion to 24, meaning that we will get 12 times 24 elementals, which all get plus 13 plus 13. And yeah, you can see why Arena might struggle to process this. There we go. We are 238 14-13s. Thanks for letting us do it, opponent. Next game. Alright, so the midway point here, we're just going to include this quick match, and I wanted to include this as this is kind of something you run into if you play these budget or brew decks. You will often run into people playing crazy fringe decks. So what I think was happening here was we had an opponent who was playing like a white taxi deck, and now it's either possible that they just completely whiffed on their lands, or that, like, they were seeking a particular matchup. Like you see here, Grand Abolisher. So we just play some different creatures, draw some cards. Get rid of the Coalition Relic. We won't attack into the 2/2. Pass back to the opponent. Alright, yeah, they whiff lands. So... we'll take it. But as you can see here, we have a solid curve. We can play the Witching Well. Our opponent has something, because there's a hold on the time here. So I'm guessing maybe it's like a get lost or a kill spell. But I'm guessing that they're not really big on it. Scrying 2 there. We'll keep... Nah, we don't need anything there. Let's make sure we hit our land drops. Let's just flash in a Merfolk Trickster. Swing in for 1 damage. Pass to opponents. And sadly they just concede, so I guess they just had a bad run there. Alright, value meta game 3 here. We had a short one in the middle, but trust me, this final game is worth it. Badgermole Cub Landfall versus Blue Devotion. And we have double Nickfrost Shrine in our hand here. So, I'm going to say this. This Aetherize is going to look very tasty very quickly in this deck. Second Saz is Chocobo. Scry down, let's make sure we draw this land. There's a Chocobo. There's a Promising Vein. I block here thinking Promising Vein is similar to the oh, what's it called? It's similar to Evolving Wilds, but it's not. So they couldn't have cracked that there to gain an extra land drop. Alright, Barting Say. More counters on their land. Badgermole Cub. Going to tap down the Shaz's Chocobo here. We'll have to take 2 here. Right. Let's go to our... Hold up the Aetherize if we can. Aetherize actually be kind of funny considering that they're land equipped. They got the Harmonizer, which doubles the power of creatures they control. Yep, that's a lot of power coming in at us. Yeah, I'm going to Aetherize here because it resets the Chocobos back down to 0/1s. And now we have to just burn stuff. So, let's make 4 mana. Play the Cryogen Relic to draw a card. Play the Omen of the Sea to scry 2 and draw a card. I'm going to get this land because I've not been hitting my land drops. Play a land. And Overworked Apprentice just to have another good block. Alright, Gadrick's great with a High Devotion board. So let's just hope they can't drop 1 trillion creatures or lands here. Ice-Tail Explorer, we're getting dicey considering it's always funny like how the best of 1 arena just gives the opponent like the perfect card after we've milled. Always makes me just go, oh come on. Alright. Escape Tunnel is finding another basic, pumping the Chocobos up again. There's an elf. Swinging in for 6. I'm going to take 6 here. I have to use Gadrick here to try and draw out of this. So I'm going to go for a full draw of... No, I'm going to go for full 6 here so I can then play... I should have played the Witching Well first. Oh, that's insanely perfect. Alright, so I'm going to foretell the Mystic Reflection to make it cheaper. Then play the Witching Well, tapping down a creature here. All we have to do is survive 1 more turn for a crazy board state. So we need 5 mana in total to do this, and we have that even if every blue creature on our board goes away. So all we have to do is survive. Alright, there's the Might Form Harmonizer. So blocking is definitely on the table here. Right. Fabled. I will say, this is going to be one of the funniest things I'm going to say this about Magic, is There's going to be a point, and I'm going to highlight when it comes out, where I have a particular gripe about the way Arena does things. So you see here, our opponent's just pumping all their board state. They're looking to do a lot of damage as much as possible. This is as many landfall triggers as they can do. So we have to definitely block both of the Saz's Chocobos. So we are going to lose some devotion. Oh, Sapling Nursery. So we're going to make a ton of creatures here. They have mana, it just depends what they want to do with it. Another Badger Maul Cub. Animate another land. They exile the enchantment just to try and flex on us, because I think they think they've won here. So we block like this. 7. So time to do our trick again. So first, I'm going to play the Witching Well. Tap down their board. Oh, there's an Etherize, which would be pretty fun. Fortunately, though, we're going to have to use our things here. So first, let's activate the blue mana. Put on full control. Remember, always put on full control. Master of Waves. Tap down their blockers. Then with that trigger on the stack, Mystic Reflection, the Master of Waves. Tap down another permanent. There we go, 11. So Devotion is 22, 22. So that's 11 times 22, 22, 12, 12, 13, 12 elementals. And with the mana left, I think we just pop the Witching Well here to draw cards. We've got the Etherize here, we don't have anything else we can do though, so let's just pass. Now this is the point where I'm going to tell you why I actually got mad. So we're going to use a stun counter here to block one of the Chocobos, so we don't have to worry about it. So check this. There is going to be a point now where they are going to swing out with an incredible board. Now, because I'm terrified of potential trample effects, I decided to block with as many tokens as possible. Do you want to know how I nearly lose this game? I nearly lose this game because the Arena timeout system goes off, because the Arena system decides it has to show the silly little bumpy animation between each blocker. Get rid of that, Arena. It's absolutely effing pointless. The impact, yeah, block for multi should look the same as block for one. Yeah, do you think I'm joking? I'm not. There is, currently, like, we are nearly halfway through the video here. There is, like, one more turn of blocking or one more turn of attacking before we go off here. So as you can see here, our opponent is just going for a massive Chocobo. And, you know, this is proper respect to them. They're just literally making the biggest thing they can for a fun thing. I'm sure that maybe they've hit the achievement of make the biggest creature you can. That's not sarcasm, by the way. That's full respect. Like, I respect someone actually letting you get to do your thing. So I'm going to 100% respect them for, if they're going to let me swing with 200 tokens, I'm going to let them make a big Chocobo to try and take it out. Esper Origins, flashed back. Sacrifice the Promising Vein. Now, the irony is, I think they actually could have killed me here. Now, I'm not sure of the interaction here, but if anyone who ever actually has this situation happen to them, if you got the escape tunnel and gave it to a small creature, you could have maybe took it out by then pumping it by double landfalling it after it's got through for blocking. If you'd done like Fable Passage effect, but you know, we'll have to, I never know. But yes, as you can see, we have the biggest tiny little chocobo here at 1,150. They might think that's a bit redundant. Here's the thing. There's one card left in their hand here. So I was 100% not taking any chances. I thought to myself, if this is some kind of little thing, like, I don't know, a 1 mana or little spell that did something, they have a mana up. And I don't know Pioneer's green pool well enough to know if there isn't actually maybe something that could give trample for 1 mana at instant speed. There probably is, and I'm probably blanking on it. But as you can see here, I am literally taking as many as I can. And my rule here was I was going to click until I saw the timer appear. And when I saw the timer appear, I'd just get as close as I could to maybe having like 100 left. So I did, and I blocked. And now, see, look, I've declared my action. So I'm not holding this game up anymore. Do you know what's happening? Arena is trying to do a stupid, pointless animation, and it is literally freezing the game. Like, look at this. Because it's trying to have him allocate the things. Now look, this is what's happening. We've got to look at the little screen shake for 5 minutes and time you out and almost cost you this game. Because we've got to put in some stupid animation. How about you don't put in these little animations? You've already took away the dramatic entrance of playing certain cards. Why don't you actually make the client better? Why don't you actually put the missing cards from formats in? Why don't you put additional content in? Instead of slamming every goddamn commander deck, hoping to get one more commander player to try playing Brawl and spend £5. Like, look at this. Like, I am legitimately cannot take game action. I am losing timeouts here. I am losing timeouts on his turn, and I can't take any action. I'm not doing anything. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. Why is my timer going down when Arena can't load because Arena's trying to do a stupid thing? And then I'm just like, screw it, swing out, full damage, full attack. But yeah, Arena, get rid of that. It's the most stupid thing ever. And we get through for full damage. That's Mono Blue Devotion. A thing that will crack the client in half. But it is kind of fun to play if you can get it right. Hope you enjoyed it.